Hey guys, I just want to check back in, just give you guys a little more evidence. Um, Before we start, I'd like to quote something from one of the greatest minds of our time. Um, Condemnation without investigation is the highest form of ignorance, which means absolute stupidity. So, Albert Einstein penned these words: condemnation without investigation is the highest form of ignorance. So what that means is if you condemn something without investigating it, if you say, "Oh, you're full of it, you're crazy," or you make some hateful, rude comment, but you haven't done your homework or investigated it, then that is the pinnacle, the very highest form of stupidity, ignorance. And so I'm going to draw attention to that because there are a lot of comments being made, from people, and some of them are really hateful and really rude with no basis. One thing I'd like to put a rest to very quickly is, first of all, this is not a color of skin issue, and a lot of people are trying to make it that. Let me show you my best friend. He's been my best friend for 30 years. It's not Chuck Norris. It's the other guy. His name's Alvin Francis. That's me, Chuck Norris, and Alvin Francis. And I was in Alvin Francis's all black karate dojo, and I've been with him for over 30 years, and I was the only white guy, so he's my best friend. So the race card doesn't work, okay? So, you want to use that card, just throw it out now. Then again, there's another card that people are trying to play. They're trying to play the crazy card. Well, I'm a single dad, and I've won custody of my kids twice in 4-day trials. And in order to do that, I've been through, the rigorous psychological testing, because they're not going to hand over 4 kids to someone who's got psychological issues. And I've taken an MMPI, Minnesota Mental Personality Inventory Test, and I've taken 3 of them. The opposing counsel tried to say I was crazy, like some of these people that are on this YouTube stuff. They try and say, "Oh, you're crazy, you're whacked out." No. Let me give you the results of all 3 MMPIs that I took at different times. Unremarkable testing. Go look it up, what it means. Go look up what unremarkable means. And now you can throw that card out too. So now you can no longer play the crazy card, because according to the rules of the judicial system in the United States, I have been found to be 100% completely within my right psychological disposition. So if you're going to try and play that card, maybe it's you that's crazy. Have you ever thought about that? So the race card's out now, and the crazy card's out. Can't do it. They're not even admissible. That being said, I tried to prove myself wrong. So sometimes the best thing you can do is, instead of calling somebody a name, is just go out and prove them wrong. Well, I decided to do that, and I have to admit it with some bit of trepidation. I thought, man, this is going to be brutal on a psychological, personal, and emotional level when I click this button. And if I find myself to be in error, I'm just going to have to eat a pile of crow and a whole bunch of humble pie and just do it. And I have to thank God things turned out the way they did, because where the Lord leads, it's obviously by his doing. So let's have a look. Okay. So this is the last video I did. I showed everybody that Baphomet is right here on Michelle Obama's dress, and that there's too much evidence to prove that Michelle Obama is a guy, and the Lord, showed it to me to draw this comparison between Baphomet and Michelle Obama. If they were standing side by side naked, y'all saw the other video, they both have male genitalia and female, breasts. So anyway, that being said, let's have a look at a pregnant woman, okay? Let's just look at what a pregnant woman looks like. All I did was type into Google, let's see. So you can even see my search. I want you, there it is. No, that's Madonna pregnant. Let's go back to pregnant woman. Let's see. I did Madonna, but she's too much of a celebrity. You know what? Let's just do this. I'll just do this live. Let me just go back. For some reason, the program's not responding. Let's try it again. Okay, here we go. Okay. So a pregnant woman. So let's just look at a pregnant woman, okay? And let's just do images, okay? So here we go. So here is a whole page of what a silhouette or body position or posture looks like of a pregnant woman. And it's very extended belly. And these are women that are obviously pregnant. You can tell they're pregnant. So that's what it looks like. So remember, condemnation before investigation is the highest form of stupidity and ignorance. It's the pinnacle of stupid. Before you investigate, if you don't investigate but you want to make a comment, you're just showing the old Chinese proverb come true, and it goes something like this. Sometimes it's better to say nothing and let the whole world believe you're a fool rather than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Okay? So let's have a look. So there's a pregnant woman. That's what a pregnant woman looks like. Here's a whole page of pregnant women and what their bellies look like, and they're very extended. They're very, very obvious what a pregnant belly looks like, okay? So I thought I would put myself to the test. Well, I typed in a celebrity, Demi Moore. I just came to my mind, Demi Moore pregnant. There's Demi Moore pregnant. She looks the same as the pregnancy page. And then I thought, well, let's type in Michelle Obama pregnant. I'll show you my search. Pregnant photos of Michelle Obama. Okay, yeah. 2 L's, right? Okay, so there's the search for Michelle Obama pregnant. That can't pass off as pregnant. So let's go through the first row. That cannot pass off as pregnant. So let's see. Is there any obvious? Let's use this as our guideline. These will be our guidelines. This will be our baseline data. This is what we consider pregnant images. Okay. So let's look at Michelle Obama. And by the way, when I typed this in, I was like going, okay, well, this is where the rubber meets the road. And no matter what I find, I have to show the general public. And if I would have found a bunch of pregnant photos in here, I would have had to do a video and said, you know what? I don't know what to do with this. I found all these pregnant photos. But I found just the opposite. I found no pregnant photos. Well, I don't know if you guys have done your homework, but let me tell you something. We don't have any documentation of these kids. We don't have any documentation of a marriage license. And the alleged birth certificate that Mr. Obama made fun of during the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it was proven to be a fraud. And the Photoshop layers were proven to be fraudulent. And how he didn't get impeached is only by virtue of the fact that he's the Antichrist, because he will do according to his own will. Okay, so let's look. Let's just go down the row. No pregnant photos here. Let's see. No, nothing here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It says baby bump. Well, I'm sorry, but that doesn't qualify as pregnant. Let's have a closer look. No. Let's go against our pregnancy test. Okay. Let's see. Pregnant, that compared to that. No, that's not even in the same thing. No, no, no. Let's see. No, 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 no. Now, that's not Michelle Obama. I looked at that. I went, wow, maybe I found one. That's not Michelle Obama. It's just a ghetto prom dress. Okay, so let's see. No, 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 no. Well, there's a pregnant lady, but that's not Michelle Obama. No, 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 no. Here's a pregnant lady. Well, but that's not Michelle Obama either. And that's debatable too. So I wonder why we can't find any pregnant photos of Michelle Obama. I mean, just think about it. You're telling me that there's not one pregnant photo, not one, where she's obviously pregnant. Here's a pregnant lady. That's not Michelle Obama. So how is it that we can go through all these pictures and not find, excuse me, we can't find one pregnant photo of Michelle Obama out of all these pictures? I mean, you're kidding me, right? Out of all these? You mean she carried 2 kids for 18 months total, so 9 months per kid, and there's not one photo of her bursting out pregnant like Demi Moore or like any of these pregnant ladies? Okay, well, let's watch what Mr. Obama had to say about the date of his wedding on, the Late Show with David Letterman. Let's go ahead and have a look. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Somehow she's different with different people. She's the same.
Is it close to 20 years? Is that what we're talking about?
20 years next.
Wow. 20 years next, well, he obviously can't remember it. Look at the look on his face. But let me give you a little psychological insight. If you were to ask me, hey, Jonathan, when's your wife's birthday or something? Well, if I don't know the birthday, if I can't remember the date, and I tell you, well, it's and I can't remember, and I say, well, I'm still trying to remember what day today is, like that has some kind of bearing on the date of her birthday. That's ludicrous. That doesn't even make any sense. Like if you asked me what day Christmas is on, and I went, well, it's and everyone started laughing, and I said, well, wait a minute, I'm trying to remember what today is so I can remember what the actual date for Christmas is, December 25th. That doesn't make any sense in any kind of arena whatsoever. It's absurd, actually. So let's hear what he says. Let's hear what he says when he can't remember the day.
Is it close to 20 years? Is that what we're talking about?
20 years next. I'm just trying to figure out what day today is.
What does that have to do with anything? What date today is? How does that have any bearing whatsoever on your wedding date? So you're telling me the President of the United States of America has a wife, that there's not one photo of her pregnant, not one. And I did a Google image search. Look, I'll show you. Google Images, watch. There it is, look. I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. Pregnant photos of Michelle Obama. No, it's Michelle. Sorry about my spelling there. Yeah, there's no pregnant photos of Michelle Obama, and you can scroll all the way through this, and you can keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and you can keep going and you can keep going and you can keep going, and you have photos of other people, but there's not one pregnant photo of Michelle Obama. Okay. Condemnation before investigation is the highest form of stupidity. Okay, so if you're going to condemn what I'm doing here and trying to show people what's going on, but yet you haven't investigated it, well then, I guess you fit into Albert Einstein's famous quote. So, let's watch this one more time.
She's the same.
Is it close to 20 years? Is that what we're talking about?
20 years next. I'm just trying to figure out what day today is. My anniversary is on October 3rd, and it will be 20 years.
Okay, well, now let's go back and watch this real quick. Let's go ahead and break down the language one time. Let's just break down the language real quick. And I know I burst into laughter because it's so insane. And she's wearing Baphomet.
What's your question?
Now, before I play this section, I want to remind everybody, I'm a dad. And most dads, most parents know this to be true. If you have children, and you say to one of your children something like, where have you been? Like they've been doing something wrong. And you say, hey, where have you been? The very first thing they'll do is they'll say, where have I been? They always repeat the question when they're guilty. That's just normal kid stuff, they'll do it. They'll go, oh, where have I been? They're trying to give themselves time to think of an answer. That's why they repeat the question. That's a normal psychological defense mechanism. So now let's go ahead and watch what Michael, Michelle, whatever you want to call this person. Let's watch what the actual dialogue is, and let's analyze the words, okay?
Have you been
Have we been married?
First she says, how long have we been married?
20-something years.
20-something years. Let's go ahead and expand this. Let me show you how terrified she is. Look at the fear in his face. Look at the fear. Let's go back and look at the fear.
20-something years.
Look at that.
Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was...
Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? I'm going to burst out laughing again. No, seriously. She just asked a bunch of little kids. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? She just asked a room of little kids when her wedding anniversary was. And if you don't think that's insane, I'm sorry. I passed on my psych evals. And if you think something's wrong with me understanding this, maybe you need a psych evaluation. Let's look again.
It's been over a decade.
It's been over a decade. She just said it was over 20 years. Now she just lost a decade within a sentence? One sentence coming out of aka his or her mouth lost an entire decade? And something's wrong with my analysis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's watch that again. Let's watch the fear. Let's watch it all the way through.
Have we been married? 20-something years. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? It's been over a decade. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been over a decade. It's been a while. That's a good answer. It's been a while. You know what? I want to just kind of drive this home. So let's just do this. We already know that condemnation before investigation is the highest form of ignorance by one of the greatest minds of our time. Let's just definition of a while. A while. A spell. A stint. A period of time. An interval. A period. It's been a while. It's been a time. It's been a spell. It's been a stretch, a stint. A while. It's been a while that you've been married? There's not a definitive number of years? There's not a date? You can't remember the date, but a bunch of children are supposed to remember the date. Let's just make sure we heard that again one more time.
Have we been married? 20-something years. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? It's been over a decade. It's been a while.
What's your question?
How long have you been
Have we been married? 20-something years. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? It's been over a decade. It's been a while. Have we been married? 20-something years.
How many years next?
Neither one of them seem to know. Isn't that odd?
Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course there's nothing wrong with this. This is normal. You know what? Maybe whoever wants to come up against this, you need a psychological evaluation. Okay? Because I'm sorry, these people are frauds. Okay? Now, I'm going to do a breakdown of these commercials coming up next week. I have Clay coming in town, and we're going to do more than Screamcast-O-Matic. We're going to edit these things down professionally, and I'm going to give you guys so much evidence you're going to know that the end of the world's here. You're going to know that that's the Antichrist and his incarnation of Baphomet there with him. They've been lying to everybody. If you're a liar, you're a child of the devil by definition in the Bible. Satan is the father of lies and the father of it. And so there's no way around it anymore, people. That's all there is to it. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to come across just, but unfortunately, because of what I do, I'm a soldier in God's army. And what I mean by that is, I have to deal with a lot of hatred from a lot of people. So I have to just kind of have this basic personality. And it's okay because I love you in Christ. That's why I'm doing this. I laid down my life to warn everybody about what's coming. And if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and your Savior, and you don't take his payment on the cross for the cleansing of your soul, then guess what? You're going to go to hell. And that's it. And I'm trying to save you from going to hell. And I was called as a watchman. Let me read to you what Ezekiel is and a watchman. It says, this is how the Lord called me out. He told me I would have to do this. I did not want to do it. As a matter of fact, I said no. If you don't believe me, go watch the Just a Messenger series on YouTube. Back in 2008, before Obama became president, I had told the Lord I was not going to do this because I was involved in that custody suit at the time, and I knew that the enemy would try and use all this information against me in court, which they did. However, I prevailed. So, now, here it comes. If the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword does come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So for all you people that I've warned and you haven't taken the warning, this belongs to you. Your blood will be upon your own head. I've warned you. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not the warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh the warning shall deliver his soul. So whoever listens, whoever repents, you will deliver your soul. But this is what scared me into going public back in 2008. But if the watchman see the sword come and blows not the trumpet, and the people are not warned, and if the sword does come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood I will require at the watchman's hand. That's what got me to go public. I was terrified. I was praying and the Lord told me to open the Bible. I told the Lord, there's no way I'm going public with this stuff. And he said, you will go public with it, no matter what you have to go through. And I did what he said, because I fear the Lord. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee as a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. My name is Jonathan Kleck. Jonathan means Yahweh has given. Kleck means a messenger that sounds the alarm, rings a bell, gathers the church. Go look it up. Kleck, K-L-E-C-K. It's a variant of the word Glock, G-L-O-C-K. It means bell ringer. Yahweh has given a bell ringer. That's what watchmen do. They ring the bell and sound the alarm. Ding, ding, ding. So everybody sees the enemy coming. Thou, son of man, I have set thee as a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. I've warned you now. You've been warned. You have been warned. Okay? So, when you leave your hateful comment, you just remember, I warned you. I told you so. So when you're dying a horrible death, you're watching people die all around you from famine and plague and pestilence, violence, beasts of the earth. Remember, I warned you. I told you. I gave up my life to tell you, as a matter of fact. back in 2002. So, your blood's on your hand. Okay? Go read Ezekiel 33. The sword's coming. I guarantee it. That's why I showed you the arch at Baal. That's why I showed you the arch in Washington Park, the Arch of Washington that says, Exitus acta probat, the outcome justifies the deed. That's why I showed you the bombings on the currency. That's why I showed you all this stuff to warn you. And if you didn't heed the warning, at this point, I'm lacking very much sympathy for you because I've been ringing this bell for a long time. And I've been praying for those people that hate me. And you know what? At a certain point, there's a cutoff. Just like the ark, the door was shut. And all that was left was wrath. So prepare for your wrath. Okay? Those of you who don't want to heed the warning, it's okay. I warned you.
Like we've been married 20-something years. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? It's been over a decade. It's been a while.
What's your question?
How long have you been away?
Let's look at a couple
Did it get any weirder or wilder?
All you have to do is look right there on her chest. That's Baphomet, the devil. So, anyway, you were warned. Remember, you were warned. Okay? So, this video is a little bit of a wake-up call for all you people that thinks this is about someone's color. I could care less. I've lived in different countries in the world, and I speak different languages. And you know what? I don't care about anyone's color whatsoever. My best friend is black. So, don't play your race cards on me anymore, okay? You were warned.